welcome back to Ocean Pirate number 37. We're creeping along. As always, thanks for your subscriptions, your views, your comments, and just viewing. You incentivise me to move on with this project. Today we're hitting the outside. Covers, green, everything's moving. We need to get ready for painting. To get ready for painting, we need to get ready for sanding. So we've got all to get this green stuff off the boat. So we're going to make a move on that, and yeah, hopefully we'll be looking at painting in, I don't know, 3rd of June, by the 3rd of June. Bottom side, hull, keel and walkway. The rest will come later. We've got some work to do on that. So let's go. Well, this brings back memories from last year where I actually got to the bow and it was full of water. And guess what? I never finished pumping it out because the battery runs flat and it's still full of water. So here we go. Portable supply pump, little pump from Amazon. It's always been handy. Oh, got a wasp or something. Right, let's go. Absolutely full. Oh no, there goes my pump end. But we use this and we get it empty. Ah, pump end, come on. Well, that didn't go to plan. There's the charger, well there's the power pack, there's the pump accidentally got snagged up and the cable got ripped out. So we have the new method, siphon. It's ludicrous that that unit doesn't actually have a drain plug, so that's something you're going to have to look at. But she's looking a little bit different, isn't she? I've actually got the vents open now, look. To get some air in the boat, fantastic. Took a little while. Look at that lot. Why didn't I do this last year? Have a look at this. Probably about another half an hour, and then I estimate that we should be able to put in a small pilot hole. We'll put a hole in. It's not that deep actually, so it doesn't go down as low as I thought. So we put a hole inside and then we get a nice cover for it when we finish painting the hole. So that looks nice. Hopefully it doesn't come out anywhere on the structural side. Oh god, just my luck that would be. One of the items that come with this boat was the flybridge console. Weighs an absolute ton. It's not going to go on straight away, and it's basically, it wouldn't be how I'd had it anyway. So when it does go back on eventually, I don't know, the boat will be running by the time this goes back in. We get the system working properly first, and then we'll pipe for this, wire for this, and everything else. It'll be under the ceiling line and in the ducting, ready to go. But we need to strip it down, get this off. At some point this will need to be stripped down, painted and disappear. It's got the Morse. The Morse is just literally 4 bolts. It's hydraulic obviously, and then we've got our thrust switch which just literally comes off with some little traction nuts underneath. Let's take this off. One horse. You can hear that's working. It's exactly the same as what's come out from the well, it's not exactly the same, it's actually the external version, but it's at the same point, 3 points. The connection identical to what's on the helm, in the way it functions. So that will need to be cleaned up, blocked, stored away. Valve thruster control and back plate. Don't need that. We do need these. Okay. This basically, as boaters all know, is for the valve thruster. Basically on this one, you power it up by pressing the button, and then you can operate the valve thruster, which is this. Now we need to put a motor on this yet, but obviously that's underneath the bow where the little varnish area is and where the paints are stored. But basically, by operating that lever, you're firing the blades up one way or the other, and that basically helps you moor your boat, or give you some more control. It's a big lump, so that's a twin blade. So I'm just looking at it now thinking, oh my god, that needs sanding down. Got to clean it first. So we're slowly getting clear. Now the next thing to look at is putting this away, and well, not so much that, and then we need to look at the problem with the water. Why is it not escaping? Why is there no drain plug in that bow? Actually, not as deep as I thought, but it's big enough. Now, I need to take a few measurements. I've got a feeling I might hit the strut. So, yeah, it should come out just below the strut. I think somewhere around below this one here, below this one, which is absolutely fine. If we get it this side, we can do the other side. We just want 2 drain holes, that's all we need. And the first thing we do is put a pilot drill through, very small drill, just in case it's not in a place we want to be. Here's a hole, the bow. Next move is not my favourite one. It's drilling a hole in the bow, really. We need to get away for that water to escape. If we're going to reuse it as a chain locker, we can't have it the way it is at the moment. It's been like it since day one, so we need to have a look. I've been thinking about this, and I don't want to drill a hole in the side. I don't like where the welds are, but I've got a better idea. Each side of this boat there's a hole in the bow for a drainage or a pump or something we're not going to use. It's lower than this chain locker, so if I drill through the bulkhead a pilot hole, see where I come out inside, and then I can make that a drain pipe going out to one of the holes we've already got, and then we can leave this alone and work out what we're going to do with it in the future, which is going to take a bit of working out, because for an anchor I'd have to put an extender on the front. Yeah, but it is what it is. I think that's what we're going to be doing. We've got to have an anchor. So yeah, so inside I'll put a pilot through, sorry, I'll put a pilot hole through now, and water's going to go into the boat. I know it is, because I've got a bit of water left in there, but I've got no choice. I've got to do something. I could try and mop it out. I just have the water in the boat. This is how not to treat your DeWalt battery drill. This is lesson number 1. It is brushless. No, it isn't. Oh well, here we go. Give it all dry out. There you go. Now we've got water going in the boat. Hopefully we're now going to the bow. We should see where the water's going in, and then we got where I've drilled through, we go just above that, bringing that hole in, and that will give us a drain point which we can put an actual proper plug and a pipe through to the bow. Let's go. Amazing. Underwater drill. Not the first time I've done that. That's actually been underwater. I've put a bag around it once. Oh, so lovely being able to walk down the side. Okay. You can see this is a bit we haven't done much with. Lord. That hole's there somewhere, I hope. Somewhere in here is a hole. I can see the water leaking down from the bottom. But I have a little bit of a dilemma. I think I have a piece of wood in my way. I have a ton of stuff in here. I found it. That's come out right behind a piece of wood. Brilliant. This is going to have to go on the list to come out in the depths of the bow. Now, this is the old, we're not using this, this is the water fill. We won't be using that. The water tank, we're looking, is there. That's going to be fed from the side. Then we go that way. But my little hole has come out just here behind this piece of wood, which is fine. Basically I use this for like storing bits and pieces I can't be bothered to find a proper place for, like everybody does. You got a junk drawer, I got a junk bow. Now I've got to do something about it, because I'd like to get that hole with a pipe coming into something rather than into the bow of the boat, where I know there's water there anyway, so I'm not that bothered. But anyway, there's going to be a bit more water in there because we're going to jet wash it out soon, and we'll have to have a floorboard up at some point in the next few weeks. Next week or so. We spent a long time getting this boat dry. We don't want to be getting it wet, and they're going to get a bit wet today, because I can tell you now, when we start jetting this boat, there's going to be leaks. Okay, at least we've got a hole. Well, here we go. It's probably the first wash it's had in years. Little tip here, don't go and buy them expensive algae defeating chemicals bottles and whatever. Get yourself a dishwashing tablet and just plug it in there. Warm water. That will take off, or it will eat into all the algae, all the green and everything. Just brush it on, sponge it on, and jet wash it off. That'll come off lovely. Now, you can always buy some, but if you're lucky enough to have a husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend who's got some dishwasher tablets, just take a couple. They won't notice, because they're normally in a bag. They're not going to count them. teak deck, completely free of green. It's taken several hours to do it. Forward. I'm not sure what we're going to use this for yet, whether it be maybe a generator, storage or something, but that's ready. We can start working on this. Then look at the top. I'll put this in like this, the frame I've got on the top, because it eventually will be bolted on here anyway. We've got to work on this roof, but we know the windows leak where that tape is. So the way I've set this tarpaulin up is I can keep these windows open, get a bit of air in, and that will help drying times. Okay, we're now walking around the side of the boat because we can. What we're walking on now will be painted within the next few weeks. We need to put something on there because we can't do anything to the rails unless we do. And look at this, our chain locker. Probably the driest it's been in 10 years. Well, all in all, looking behind me now, we have a boat what's ready to be sanded and prepped for paint. And I'd love to get the bottom part of this boat done now by June the 3rd. That's the red and the blue. I don't know about the white yet. I think the white may come at a later date if I even put the white on. But the red and the blue is definitely going to go on. Just got to sand it all down. Okay. What else do we want to do? Looking at that, we need to cover that. I think we have to make something semi-permanent to go in its place. There's no point using brand new wood or anything on that. We'll make something 610 wide and circular, and basically we just cover it with something waterproof and something strong enough to stand on, and we'll fix it into place so it's there for a semi-permanent position, so we can remove it and put it back if we want to work. So I've made a little device. We know it's 610, so we want about 305 from the centre of that screw. So if we go 305, which is there, I then just put the pencil on there and draw a circle. There you go. Bit of old wood. I cut that in a circle, give it a quick sand, put some protection on it, and we'll have something to go on the front. Okay. Okay. That'll do. Can't see a lot of rain getting into this, and the main thing is we can get into it. I'll probably put a weight on it or something for the time being, but you know what, it's dry, that's the main thing. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. You're very important to the channel. I appreciate all of you. We've done quite a lot on this boat in the last day or so. It's now prepared for spraying and or painting, like I said, not spraying, painting. Lower section, mid section, this section. I'd like it done by June the 3rd, and then yeah, just to make it look like a boat, it'd be nice. Take care people, thank you.